The new Crystal Fire Staff is out, and it is so good for Stalker Corrupted Dungeons. And I have created a build that I haven't actually lost with, and it's going to be a problem for Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, and I will show you why. All right, let's go over the entire build first, and I will show you how to properly use it, because it's kind of just a one-trick pony, but it's also so good. So let's go ahead and look at all of the weapons, armors, poison, and or potion and food that you need for this build. All right, the first one is the Flamewalker Staff, obviously. For this one, it is very rigid. For the limited time that I tested this, this is the best combination for all of the builds that I went up against. So the first one is your Q3, the Searing Flame. Just to those who don't know, Q3 is a non-targetable thing. It is something that you have to aim, and after you hit 3 in a row, it becomes this big flame that deals more damage. That's basically it. Your W ability is your Flame Blast. This gives you movement speed up to 60%, 60% for 1.6 seconds, and it deals damage as well. So it's 2 stages. So first one, you deal damage immediately. After 1.6 seconds, it explodes, and an AoE. In a Stalker Corrupted Dungeon match, obviously, it's a single target. The star of the show is this, though. This is the Spontaneous Combustion. So there are 3 effects, or actually 4 effects of this specific weapon. It turns you into a fireball, immunes you to everything, damage, CC, your force movement, stuns, whatever. It immunes you to all effects while you're flying, and you fly in a straight line up to 14 meters. It is very important to note that this is up to 14 meters. So if you just want to, your opponent is right there, you just cast it right there, and your immunity is going to be obviously just when you're flying there. The next is the damage. The damage dealt to all enemies in a 5-meter radius when you reach your target with up to 14 meters. And there's another. It deals also dot damage up to 230 damage for 2 seconds on all enemies you pass. So let's look at it here. So if your opponent, let's say, is that third dummy, right? You go to that, boom. The third dummy takes most of the damage, but also the ones that you pass through take damage as well. Now, in a 1v1 situation, obviously, that doesn't make any sense. That is not going to be too important, but there is a strat. If you are, if you're him, if you're actually him, and you want to, say, deal damage to this second dummy right here, but you also want to deal not just the impact damage, but also the dots damage, and kind of just do that, right? You deal damage to him with the 377 DPS and 350 DPS. Something like that. So you can kind of take advantage of the entire thing. But again, in a 1v1 situation, it is better to just hit your opponent head on. Hitting an enemy, another effect of this, will reduce the cooldown of this specific ability by 25%. So the initial cooldown for this without any cooldown modifiers is 30 seconds. So let's do some calculation, shall we? 30 seconds, and it will get reduced by 25. So it will go down to 22.5 seconds if you hit an enemy player, not mobs, player. So that's basically the star of the show there. And it looks pretty cool, right? Absolutely looks gorgeous. It can be used as a mobility as well. You can use it to escape. You can use it to engage. I mainly use it to engage because I'm a Brawl Fire Staff. And the burn passive on this one, you can also go the passive for, but I have just been so used to normal attacking in between Q abilities that this actually helps a lot. But this is also an option if you're into just casting your skills. Okay, so let's move on to the armor set. And I am going to explain this from least priority to highest priority, or like least importance to highest importance. So let's go with this. The first one is your Taproot. The Taproot is a typical offhand for my Fire Staff builds, it just gives you a lot of health and health regeneration off combat, obviously. And that's it. It just gives you that. Pretty good for Stalker Corrupted Dungeons specifically, again, because higher health in that, getting like 10%, getting like 200, 300 health is really, really good because most of the Stalker Corrupted Dungeon players have around like 2200, something like that. So it does give you a bit more of an advantage. I would say though, if you are trying to make this into like a one-shot thing, you can use a Moisak for this. Higher damage, higher energy consumption as well, but I do prefer this for a more holistic approach and universal build when it comes to this Fire Staff. All right, the Mage Robe. This is for the purge, because when you do engage your opponent, you are going to be very, very close, and if they pop any defensives, you want to be able to purge that defensive immediately so you can deal more damage. So this increases your damage resistance by 88 for 4 seconds. And if you take damage, direct damage, all of the buffs on the attacker will be purged. So this is pretty good. With the first passive as well for extra damage. And also the reason why I use the Mage Robe here is because of the plus on that magic attack bonus, magic ability bonus. It's just really, really good. So that's plus 58. Nice. The next one is this, the Mercenary Shoes. It doesn't have to be a Mercenary Shoes. It can be any leather shoes. The only reason why I want the Mercenary Shoes is just when or if I need the break free mobility from, say, I don't know, a Tome Hammer stun build. It would be pretty nice to have that along with the cleanse on the hood if ever I go against said build. But most of the time you are going to use your refreshing sprint and your quick thinker. So I could have used the balance mind here for more damage and more defense, but I am trying to lower the cooldown of my skills as much as I possibly can. So I'm going to go with a leather shoe with the quick thinker passive. So getting into the meat of this build, this is probably one of the most important part. If you have this build or you're using this weapon and you're using my strategy, I highly suggest you use the Immortal helmet. It is really, really good. So the Immortal helmet, or the Mistwalker Hood as it is known, makes you immortal, right? Makes you immortal for 6 seconds, up to 6 seconds, and it consumes 2% of your max energy per second. So that is very important there. Keep that in mind. And you also want to use the quick thinker here. Again, same concept. Just get a slow cooldown as possible. Okay, so this is though the main damage dealer of this build. Like, yeah, it's good to have, you know, your E ability into a Q, into a W and all that. For first passive, right? It is good, deals a lot of damage, but this is where it is at. Again, in Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, potions and potions in general, I guess, does not get squished similar to how these kinds of effects. So this has 730 damage on impact outside, but inside the Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, it goes down to like 530. So you are reducing the damage by about 200. This, however, this is why Hellfire Pots and potions do really, really well for Stalker Corrupted Dungeons, is it deals true damage. This deals 475 true damage per potion. I say per potion because we are using the Smuggler Cape for this one. The Hidden Vial. So this Smuggler Cape basically just reduces the cooldown of your potion by 90 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and this has a cooldown of 60. So you can assure that when you throw your poison, you can throw the next one after waiting for the full effect of, well, the poison. So that's pretty much it. You deal 1,000 damage. Let's just call that 1,000 damage. It's 950, but 1,000 damage. Remember the discussion that we had earlier with the Taproot having more health, and most of the Stalker Corrupted Dungeon players that you will meet is around 2,200. If you throw the 2 poisons, you're essentially cutting their health in half with just 2 potions. So in a span of 8 seconds, outside of all of the damage that you deal with your Q, W, and E, it is going to just destroy them. Now, there is a counter to it. Obviously, you have your Cleric Robe, Cleric Cowl, Mistwalker Jacket, right? Running away, probably. You do have mobility on this Fire Staff, so you can chase. But just in general, your combo is going to be this. I am going to waste potions here. When you see your opponent, obviously, try to see what's up, what's their build, how you can counter. But for the most part, you just go E, W, Q, and like poison right away. Right? Poison, if they use their defensive, you Mage Robe, and then you poison after the poison pot, the first poison pot actually was consumed. And while they're here, actually, I would say after or before you throw your second potion, or right after, you want to use your refreshing sprint to increase the cooldown rate of your E ability and your other skills. But once you have your E ability, just use it again, use the combo. It deals so much damage. It's actually incredible. And if you are dying, your Immortality Helmet, make sure to use it when you're under 20%. Never use your Immortality Hood or your Mistwalker Hood under 20% or over 20%. I would wait up until, my health is about 15% before I use it, and make sure that you actually have skills to take advantage of that. And sometimes you do have that Mistwalker Hood, and then you go boom, boom, boom. Something like that. Okay? So that's basically it. It's a pretty straightforward combo. Not complicated. You throw 2 poisons, you drop your E. W is auto-targeted. E is very easy to aim. Q is your Q. It's very easy as well. You purge with your Mage Robe. And if you're dying, make sure to use this under 20%. And do not forget your rejuvenating sprint or your refreshing sprint. The refreshing sprint actually does help a lot when it comes to making sure that you get your skills back faster. But yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys use this combo as well in your corrupted dungeons. Oh, one more thing. The food. This is not... I did not use this to great effect. I would probably go with a regular beef stew. Or if you want to go with more cooldowns, pork omelet probably is going to be good as well. If you're feeling fancy, eel stew is also there as an option. But yeah, that's basically it. Enjoy the highlights. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Or better yet, join us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Burnstone. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Too early. Oh my gosh, why is that included in that? GG. GG, sir. Kind of worked. Here, sir. GG, sir. And that's so fun. GG, sir. Let me destroy all the cards. GG, sir. I actually don't know if I can. Did you guys believe that? Ah, shit. GG. Ah! Oh, it's 1.2 mil. Oh, shit. Shit. Can I at least get this? I didn't even fight. Bro didn't even fight. Here's our... Alright, another trophy. Another trophy that I cannot loot. Damn.